2020, which is obviously just 1 week away. In a minute, I'm going to be handing over to Esme, who's our events coordinator here at Eager. She has been arranging the event through Swapcard, and she in a minute will quickly go through what you should be doing. Hopefully you guys have all logged in and had a look around so you can see what's going on with the platform this year. As it's very different. We've gone virtual. We've got some great features within Swapcard. We have a meet the buyer function where you can sign up for meetings. We have 2 days of full conferences with a great lineup of speakers. We've obviously tried to be quite challenging with the subjects that we're bringing in, so I hope you'll find it great. What we do is we just give it a couple more minutes to allow a few more people to get logged on to this afternoon. If you have got any questions, I would say that probably the best way is to use the chat function, which we have within Teams. You can see that was Mr. Best with his video on. Good afternoon, John. Nice to see you. I was just going to say, if people could turn their video and sound off so we don't get any kind of feedback, and we can obviously save a bit of bandwidth, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much, John. As I was saying, if you do have any questions, then please do use the chat function within Zoom. If not, you can raise your hand and put your video on, and then obviously we'll get to your question. Okay. As I said, we'll give it 1 more minute. We've got a good few people already here, and then I'll hand over to Esme, and she can take you through the Swapcard platform ahead of SNS next week. Right, there we are. I think our numbers have seemed to have stabilised. So I think Esme, will hand it over to you to go through the Swapcard platform. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We just thought it would be nice to kind of run through how the event will work and how you can get the most out of the platform during the 2 days, because we're very aware that virtual events are new to everyone, and also every different event seems to be using a different platform. So if you've all had a chance to log in and receive the email from Swapcard, which invites you to build up your profile, you should be familiar with this page already. If you haven't had that email yet, please just jot that down in the chat function, and my colleague Roxanne should hopefully be able to send you that at some point today. But once you're in and set up your password, you should be able to access this homepage. This is where you'll find all of the key features of the event that you'll need across the 2 days. First things first, it's best to update your own personal profile. So you can see this on the left-hand side of the screen. For us, this is Eager Events. But from here, you can build up your own profile, add in all of your contact details, a bio about yourself. The more information you put in there, the easier it is for people to know if they want to meet with you, or also the platform has a function in it where it will recommend delegates to other people. So once you've done that, if you're an exhibitor as well, which I think most of you joining us today are, you will have the access to build all of your exhibitor page here on the left too. We actually did a run through of this a few weeks ago. If there's any specific questions anyone has about building the exhibitor profile, if you again ask later, but I'll leave over that for now because I covered that before, and I can send around the link to that video if you've got if you just want a reminder. But just in general, how to use the event. We have 2 days of conference going on, and you can see all of the sessions in the agenda tab here. Through this, you'll be able to see the session title, a description, and also who the other speakers are. And you can also, if there's a specific theme that you would like to learn about during the conference, you can filter through these sessions here from both the type and the general topics. If there's a session that you'd like to watch, you can just click on this little button on the right-hand side of the title and add it to your own agenda. Now I'll come back to what that does in a second. So we have 2 days of conferences, and we have 2 different streams on both days. So on Wednesday, the 16th, we have 2 streams, one focusing on oil and gas and the other focusing on renewables. And on the 17th, we have 2 streams, one focusing on hydrogen and the other one focusing on skills and supply chain. But don't worry if you want to watch a session which occurs that are occurring at the same time. After the event, all of these sessions will be uploaded as video files and you'll be able to watch them at any time. And during the event, to quickly get to any of those streams in particular, you can press one of these quick links. So we have the main stage. This will be where all of our keynotes and like main sessions will be hosted. And then the streams you can click to here. So we've got oil and gas and renewables. And on the second day, like I said, that will be changed to hydrogen and skills and supply chain. You can also browse through exhibitors. So all of our exhibitors are in here. The sponsors are highlighted first, and then it goes on to alphabetical order. But each exhibitor will have built their profile with various different tags. So you'll be able to search by industry sector, but also by the services that they offer. So if you have something specific that you're trying to reach out to someone about, you can do that here. And once you have filtered that through, you can click on anyone's profile. Let me find one, for example. So for example, the East of England Energy Zone, you can go to their page, you can learn a little bit more. And if you want to book a meeting with that company to try and learn more, they'll have slots available on their profile. So there's slots for both days, and these are 15-minute meetings. And it's just a way for you to kind of introduce yourself, get to know them a bit more. You can book several meetings in a row if you feel like you want more time. But this will give you the chance to meet a member of this organisation. You can see a little bit more information about what they offer, their products and services, any speaker sessions they might be involved in, any documents they have, and the contacts on that team. And at any point during the conference, you can also just send the company a quick message and someone will be able to get back to you directly. You can also bookmark any exhibitors that you wish, and these again, I'll show you how this comes up later. You can do the same for attendees. So we have a virtual delegate list. Everyone that has given themselves permission to be shown up on this, you can find here. So all of the different delegates from the event. And if you want to connect with someone, all you do is press this button here. This then says that you're requesting their details. So once someone has connected with you, you will then be able to see their contact details, such as their phone number and their email address, but you won't be able to see those details until they've accepted that request. So that means that all of your personal details are hidden until you've accepted to give those over to someone. For example, I'm already connected with Gemma. So now that I've connected with her, I can send her an instant message. I can score my meeting with her, so whether or not it was a useful contact to make and whether I want to come back to it later and add any notes. I can see what sessions she's involved in, her contact details, and again book a meeting with just her. And these are available again through both the days. They're 15 minutes, but you have complete control as to what your availability is, and I'll show you how to adapt that in just a minute. All of your chats, so if you've had instant messages with any of these people, will be held up here in this messages function, and you can quickly jump between them. So if you've got 4 or 5 chats going on at once, you don't have to worry about trying to navigate back to each individual person. You can just do it through here. And if you want to see if you can spontaneously call them rather than booking a meeting, there is that function available here. You can just press this video call and it will ring them through the platform. Obviously, I'm sure lots of people will have lots of plans for these 2 days, whether that's other meetings or watching sessions. So not everyone will be available to just quickly answer the phone, but you can always give it a go. So all of those things, when you've connected with different people, you've favorited agenda items and also bookmarked exhibitors. If you go into the My Event tab, this is where you can see everything that you've said that you're interested in. So your schedule will cover all of the sessions that you've decided you want to watch. Your meetings will have all of the meetings that you've booked. This My Meetings tab is also where you can update your own personal availability. So if you want to make yourself completely unavailable for any personal calls, and the only ones that you'll be doing are through your exhibition stand, you can just make yourself unavailable all day, but make sure you do this for both days by scrolling down to the Thursday. If you only have time, say between 10 and 1 on both days, you can make yourself unavailable and then just go to a specific slot and press make available. So this means when any other delegate is trying to book a meeting with yourself, they can only do so when you're free, so you don't feel like you have to reject meetings as they come in. Any meetings that someone has made with you will also come up here, and you can accept or reject those. If you're part of a team, so if you're part of an exhibition stand, you'll also be able to see the rest of your team's meetings here too. So you can see who else has requested a meeting with another person on the platform. And if they need any support, or if you think you'd be better placed to run that meeting, you can also do that for yourself. Your networking will be where all of your connections that you've made over the event are held, and your bookmark companies. And one thing that you can do with any meetings and any agenda items that you've decided you want to watch, you can actually export these to your Outlook calendar. So if you're joining the event and you're planning to watch 3 sessions and have a couple of meetings, but the rest of the day you've got some work that you really need to be getting on with, you can export these all into your calendar, and then it will remind you when you have these sessions. But if you're on the event all day, it will also send you a notification here. So you'll get a little notification saying you have a meeting in 5 minutes, or there is a session about to start that you wanted to watch. This will notify you here, and it will be a quick link directly to that session or that meeting. We have a few roundtables going on throughout the event, and also we have a few exhibitors that are hosting presentations on their own exhibition stand. You'll be able to find all of these here. So at the moment we have the Virginia Beach roundtable and the EEZ roundtable. If any of you as exhibitors would like to host your own session on your own stand, or would like to host a roundtable, do drop me an email at events@eager, and myself or Roxanne will get back to you as to how we can set that up for you. And then another feature, so we have Meet the Buyer. So in addition to be able to book a meeting with any other attendee, we've had a few key buyers that have offered their time at the event to have meetings. So this is similar to the Meet the Buyers that we've hosted at other events. So you can come into the Buyers tab, and this will show you the key stakeholders that have specifically sent procurement teams or someone like that along, and you can book meetings with these people. They will also have updated their availability, so you can go in and book a specific meeting slot, and you can book a meeting before you've sent a connection request. So you don't have to wait for them to accept your request to book a meeting. The only difference it makes when they've connected with you is that you can then see their contact details, so you can follow up after the event. You can also, once all of your contacts throughout the event, once the event is over, you can come into the contacts tab and export all of these contacts into an Excel file. So rather than a normal event, how you'll have a stack of business cards that you need to upload onto your CRM afterwards, you'll now have a nice handy Excel file that will have all of those details. And it will also export all of this scoring and notes that you've made about the conversation with that person. So it will all be stored in one place for you. All of these links are available at the top, so you don't always need to come back to the home page to find all of these things. You can just jump from tab to tab. There's a help desk, so the team will be available throughout the 2 days to give you a hand. Most likely it will be Roxanne answering your questions, but we'll all be about if there's anything that you're struggling with. And I think that's kind of the overview of the functionality of the platform. I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone's got anything specific that they want me to run through. I can see John's got his hand up. So John, if you want to ask your question, feel free.
Yeah, hi Esme, thanks. That's a very comprehensive review. You've done a huge amount of work, so compliments to the team. I was speaking to Sophie Skip today from UTCN, and she said that they're probably going to come to a couple of sessions, and she'll actually have the sessions so that some of the students can sit round and it can be broadcast into their class, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great, because in a way that replicates what we'd have done in the past, where we'd have actually invited individual students to come along. Yeah. So I think that should be very positive. I've suggested that she lets you know that, so that you can also collect numbers as to students that might have viewed it. But it strikes me, one of the questions that came up was, with the different presentations that are on, are some likely to be more student friendly than others? And I wonder whether you might be able to just to put a little tag on it, that sessions that were particularly apposite for students, or that they get the most out of, might be tagged.
Yeah, I think Gemma and I could probably have a little look at that. I think we've got a whole range of spectrum of students joining us. We've got some students from the UEA as well. So there's probably different sessions that are suitable for different students. But Gemma, I know you're hiding in the background there. Maybe we can have a look at the agenda items and see which ones we would recommend for the UTCN to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. We can have a look through. I mean, John, we haven't, you mentioned there about what we would usually do in relation to working with students and things in relation to SNS. Obviously, we've been very, been very aware of the fact that students have only just returned to school. So we haven't pushed this too far with the student side of things this time around. Obviously, we are looking at the Skills for Energy event in November and looking at directing students more towards that event than we have done with SNS this year, just given the timings. But that said, yeah, I don't see that there's an issue with regards to looking at which sessions are more geared towards students. I mean, we have got on the second day, we have got the Building the Net Zero Energy Workforce session, which obviously is all about the skills and education piece. I'm also speaking with Stuart Rimmer on the second day as well. So there are elements which are more geared towards skills, but certainly there will be elements of other sessions which, depending on the age of the students and the interest of the students, might be relevant for them as well. So certainly we can have a look through, and Esme, if we can put a marker somewhere on the system, then yeah, I'm happy to do that. Alternatively, if I think Sophie has phoned and spoken to Roxanne this morning, so I think she's already flagged the UTC's attendance. But if there's anything additional we can do to support Sophie, then obviously we're happy to do that as well.
I'll take an action just to do a short email after this call. That joins everybody up, so that'd be great. Really helpful. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks, John.
I'll put my hand down now. There we are. And I'll shut up.
And I'll disappear back into the background, Esme.
Great. Has anyone else got any specific questions? I'm aware that a lot of the people here with us today are exhibitors, so I'm quite happy to have a quick run through as to kind of how to build the exhibition stand, if there's people that still want assistance with that. I think the main thing to say is to just fill your time looking at other exhibitors, booking meetings with everyone. Kind of don't expect it all to come to you. I think this is the difference between virtual events and face-to-face events. Unfortunately, with virtual events, you can't have that nice social interaction where you're strolling through the hall and someone smiles at you, so you start up a conversation. But we think this platform gives multiple different ways for you to connect with people, whether that's video meetings or the live chats with individuals and exhibitors. And being able to download the kind of interactions afterwards will help you follow up conversations following the event. But if there is anyone that has any specific questions as to how to do something or how a particular item works, I'd be more than happy to answer that now. I'm hoping the silence means that everyone feels happy with the platform and that we've chosen something quite user-friendly.
I'm taking silence as being good, Esme, on this one, yes.
Well, if you have any questions that maybe you're not... Oh, yeah, I have another one. Someone's raised their hand. Sorry, I can't see who it is. Julia?
Hi, Esme. Could you resend the link to the video about setting up the exhibitor stand, please? Because I missed out on that one.
Yeah, of course. Roxanne, do you mind just putting the link to that in the chat for me, please? I'll just quickly, because we've got quite a lot of time left, I'll just quickly go onto one of the exhibitor stands and kind of show you a little bit about what's editable and how to do it.
Thank you.
Lee? Do you have a question, Lee?
Hi, Esme. Yeah,
Hi.
I do. Hello. I had a quick question. When I use my own personal profile, I can find the location to change my own availability for meetings.
Yeah.
How do I change the exhibitor profile's availability? How do I change the company's availability? Or is it just set that it's...
Yeah, so unfortunately we can't. The only way we can change the exhibitor profile is to completely remove availability rather than put specific times. But like I said, if there's someone requests a meeting and you can't make it, you do have the freedom to kind of cancel it or change the time of it. So it might just be a case of having to send a quick message. That's one thing that so Swapcard are developing this platform as they go a little bit and as the needs change. So that's one thing we have asked for them to kind of update for us, is a way for you to update that availability to your exhibition stand. But when you're on your exhibitor center, which is what's showing on the screen now, you can go on to meetings and see all of the meetings that any of your team have had requested and kind of move them around a bit. So it might be that different members of your team have different availability at different times. But yeah, that's one thing we've asked them to update. So hopefully for future events, that'll be something that we can have.
That's okay. I think I'll just have to reallocate and reorganize. It's no problem. Thank you.
Great. I can see that Rox has now put that link to the demo video in the chat, but I'll just do a really quick run through because so many of you are exhibitors. So you can get from the event itself, you can get to your exhibition center here. You can click on the company that you're associated with, and that will open up this page here. From here, you can edit everything on your company profile. You can upload a background image to your stand, just here. Your header video, or this can be an image if you wish, or a GIF. If you just click edit, you can upload that, and it will tell you the dimensions that you need to use and the file size. And if you want to upload a video, you can put that in here too. You can update your logo or your company name. If you click across, all of your company information can be edited in here, so you can add a bit of a profile, the sectors that you work in, the services that you offer. These have to be preloaded, so if there's any sector or service that you would like to add that aren't already here, do just drop us an email and we can add those on for you. You can upload all of your links to different social media, your company contact details. You can also upload any documents you wish, so these can be images, PDFs, catalogues, press releases. You can also link to YouTube videos or Vimeo videos and upload video files directly if you need to. You can add your products and services. I've had a few questions as to whether or not we can reorder these. Again, this is another thing I've asked Swapcard to add in, but the products and services will appear on your profile alphabetically. So unfortunately, we can't reorder those for you. But it might be one exhibitor that we worked with has kind of strategically named their different things. So even when they come up alphabetically, they come up in the order that they want them to. And then also job opportunities. So if you have any jobs going, any apprenticeships, any placements going, we will have groups of students from the UEA. And as you just heard, possibly students from the UTCN, and there may be some other people who will be interested in that. So if you do have any opportunities going, we encourage you to put them on your profile as well. All of the contacts any of your team make through the event will appear here. And again, you can export those all at the end of the event. And you can also see your team here too. So the only way to add a team member is if they already have a ticket for the event, and then you can invite a team member to be part of your exhibition stand. If you want another ticket to the event or another team member, you just need to purchase that on our website. All exhibitors will have 2 passes with their exhibition stand. So if you've only allocated one of those so far, make sure you get in touch with events at EAGER and we can sort that out for you. So that's just kind of a brief overview as how to build your profile. We kind of recommend the more information you put on there, the better. As I said before, when you're scrolling through the exhibitors list and you look at an exhibitor in particular, it will also recommend to you other exhibitors that you may want to connect with. So the more information you put on there, the more likely it is that you are going to be recommended to another attendee who's browsing through the event themselves. But all of this is quite self-explanatory, and if you do have any issues, do feel free to let us know. I think that's everything. So unless anyone else has any questions, I don't believe there's anything I've missed out. Rob, Rox, I don't know if there's anything you think I should cover too.
No, I think you covered it all. We just got a question coming. Just asked, I understand we can send in press releases. Please clarify.
Yep, so we have a media hub at our event. So on that media hub, any exhibitor can send in a press release. And we will post those all onto the media hub itself. They'll also go on our own newsfeed, on our website, and also on the Insight Energy website. And they will all be stored here, and they'll be available for any other media organisations, because we have several different media partners that are joining us for the event. They'll be able to pick those up there too. So if you can send a PDF through to events at EAGER, we can make sure that's on there for you. So I think, Steve, yeah, a PDF, please. So one thing, sorry, that I didn't cover, so how the sessions will work on the day. So when the session is happening, this is what you'll see. The video will be playing here, and you'll be able to send any messages in the chat here. So this will be seen with all of the other people watching the session and also the speakers. You've got the chance to ask questions, so you can ask questions to our speakers as well. And I think all but one of our sessions is live. So we really encourage you to engage with those sessions as they're happening. And some of them will also have polls going. And on this session, you'll be able to see who the other attendees are and who the speakers are. And these videos, you can decide to watch it on full screen if you wish, if that's all you want to focus on. If you want to browse the platform at the same time, you can actually make this video kind of pop out, and it will sit as a standalone video on the side and float there while you navigate around the rest of the platform. And that's the same for the video calls too. And I will just demonstrate that really quickly for you. Gemma, you don't have to pick up if you don't want to, but how the video calls will look. And you click on the phone here. It will all be hosted in the platform itself. It will come up here. You'll have the videos appear. Sorry, my internet's quite slow here at the moment. So you'll be able to have a video call with that other person. You can make that pop out and move it around your screen. So if you're having a call with an exhibitor and you want to continue to browse through their exhibition stand while you're having that call to help you direct your questions, or if there's anything particular you want to ask about, you can continue to have that discussion and look around. And you can also make that full screen as well. So, and there's also the opportunity to share your screen too. So there's lots of different ways that you can manage that call, and it can suit you and how you're going to be using the event on that day. So I think if there's anything else, and we'd be really happy to answer your questions.
There's no other questions coming through.
Can I just say, the main thing that I've been asked a lot is how long the platform's going to be open for after the event.
Yeah, so the platform will be live for around 6 months after the event. So any of the content you can watch again then. Obviously, the networking features will kind of be turned off. You won't be able to book calls with anyone anymore, but the live chats will still be there. So you can go back on and download that information at any point within 6 months after the event. So if for any reason you can't watch something or you can't download something during the 2 days, don't worry, you've still got plenty of time. I think then, if everyone, oh, Marie's got her hand up. Go ahead, Marie.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to say, and I don't know if Esme's covered this already, but we've got on LinkedIn an SNS2020 network. We're currently up to 330 members, and as soon as we hit 350, we're going to give away a free ticket to SNS. So if you're not already, make sure you go and follow us on LinkedIn, SNS2020.
And if you're the winner and you've already got a ticket, you can always gift it to a member of your team or someone else if you're feeling generous. Great. All right. Well, oh, John, so the latest someone can take some exhibition space is probably Friday. It will probably take you a couple of hours to get everything set up, and Monday and Tuesday we'll close the bookings for exhibition stands. So if anyone doesn't have one but would really like one, then we can offer you an exhibition stand still. However, you will need to spend the time quite quickly to build it, because all of the delegates now have access to the platform and are probably on there already starting to view people's profiles and connect with people. So hopefully you've all had a few meeting requests come through so far. Great. All right. Well, if no one else has any questions, then I think I'll end the session here. Thank you all for joining us. And as I said, we're always here if you do think of anything once you've had another look. Sorry, John, it's £150 plus VAT for members and £300 for non-members. And that includes the 2 passes to the event and your virtual exhibition stand. And the event itself is £25 for members and £50 for non-members. Great. All right. Rob?
Esme, as always, I think you covered everything and got some good feedback there in the questions. Thank you for your kind comments on that one, John. I hope you all appreciate it's been hard work to get this off the ground to this point. We're really hoping that next week is a fantastic success. Already we've got some good numbers. We've got a good range of exhibitors there. And I think if you look at the conference, I think that EAGA has really pushed the boat out and got a fantastic lineup of different, not our normal time of speakers for SNS. So I would like to thank my entire team that has been working in this tirelessly since obviously we made the decision to go virtual. And hopefully we'll see everyone next week for a really good couple of days. All right. So thanks very much for calling in today.
Thank you.
Thanks.